Stayed in Perth, as did Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. Get ready for this game. 3 days rest and they're back into it as the Dolphins get us underway under blue skies and bright sunny conditions here in Perth as Ponga makes the catch in the early part of the season. And now Katoa again kicks to the right-hand side this time, going back not quite to the goal line was Caleb Ponga. Bring it back in here, left foot step. Finafuiaki and his weight there. Good kick return brings it back to almost a 30 as James Schiller is into the side for Greg Marju, who picked up the injury last week against the Roosters. Neck and arm problem for Marju. So Schiller back into the run-on side as Best also returning today. Just 5 games through a hamstring injury. He's been plagued by them throughout his career. His dual good run as Cogger. Kai Pierce-Paul will be a Tiger in 2026 and beyond. Brings it down to the Dolphins 30 as it goes back to Cogger. Kicks back towards Dominic Young. We know the aerial threat that he is. The ball leaves. The catch there of Tabuai-Fidow and it falls for Fletcher Sharp. The referee says try for the moment. No touch by Young. And Sharp has first points for Newcastle. Yeah, Tabuai-Fidow looked like he had a good grab on that ball, but we know what a competitor he is. Dominic Young sort of got in his way there. It's a nice chase through. May not have got the memo at Newcastle that we don't really contest kicks all that often. Well, you can see the results here and what happens when you do contest. Here's the goal kick now. It's the upright here, shaves it, goes in though. Part of that team that beat the Knights just last weekend, 7 days ago in Newcastle. He'd already packed his bags, everything was up there, good to go, to make sure he was in preparation for this game and the trip straight away to the other side of the country. It's a pretty strange play there. They didn't take the kick for touch, just took the quick tap. They looked like Newcastle was set themselves right upfield.
That's because of the wind blocker. With that rain coming in, the wind has picked up heavily. It's right behind the Newcastle Knights now, so that's why they would have taken that tap. So they're shifting out here to the right-hand side. Just 15 degrees today in Perth. It's a cool, windy one. There's now Marshall King. Comes across to Nicarima eventually. Farnworth, good ball. Bostock to Ponga. Back on the inside. That is the Dolphins we have come to know and love in the last month of watching them play. That left edge is dynamic. And again, they've picked apart this time the Newcastle Knights defence.
Yeah, I know all the talk is about Katoa too, and rightfully so. Wonderful young half.
Hugh there once again. As a tandem, Cogger, Ponga out the back. Oh, Asako was there. He had eyes only for Bradman Best. He was watching the ball, it was there to be intercepted.
Yeah, I think it surprised him too that time. Just trying to come in off his line, make a tackle rather than looking where the ball was. A little bit lucky to hang on there, Newcastle.
And across on this right-hand side. Mix up with Frizzell, takes it inside the Westpac red zone. Tackles up their sleeve here in this restarted set. Sharp again. Nicarima was in trouble there. Farnworth did well. Edging his bets. He's able to help stop speedster and Fletcher Sharp. Cogger, long way. Now Ponga, rubbers. Here's a chance. It sits up beautifully for Bradman Best. A terrific kick as they wrap back to the left-hand side. The Knights are in again. They make the lead 6 points.
Unbelievable try, that one. We always talk about Ponga and his ability to beat blokes, but what about his kicking game there? We don't talk about it enough.
Gagai, who shaved the upright, but it was good. On the first attempt, no trouble this time around. And 2 tries to 1 for the Knights. They lead 12 points to 4. Jane Brayley here for Cogger, midway through the set. Another ruck infringement. Both teams testing the patience of the referee. Comes from Brayley to Cogger. Now Cogger, Best. Good hands to Schiller. Runs towards Katoa. Beats him. Beats Marshall King. Runs to the hammer. Runs past him. Cogger taken down. Only just. Underneath the black dot. Sharp comes out to Ponga. Looks one way. Comes back to the left. Another set restart. Take a settler here. They're looking for 6 points. Best to play. Comes from Brayley. Through Croker, then Cogger, Gagai, Dominic Young. Welcome back to Knights colours. He plants it down. It's taken him less than half an hour to score once again as a Newcastle Knight. His try-scoring ways continue on no matter who he's playing.
Yeah, well, the best thing about it is they've got attack on both sides of the field now. Left-hand side is best. Goes straight through, some great ball movement. Knights have done well to hang on. This is the big play now. The fatigue will set in now with the back-to-back sets.
Donahue held down here, plays it for Marshall King eventually. Showing it again. He's got his kit bag here in this set. Another crack at them himself from close range. Well defended by the Knights. Nicarima comes to Donahue. He just works it back to the middle. They split the field in two here. Most of the attack is out there on the left-hand side. They just work it forward through Nichols. Takes it down on 4 plays. Now back to a long left edge. From Donahue. Toa into the space is Lemuelu. What happened there for Newcastle? They've been so good defending inside their 20 until that moment. It opened up for Connolly Lemuelu.
Yeah, they looked like they were going to go out the back there. I think they anticipated the Newcastle defence of the ball going out the back.
Into this breeze in the first half. Bends it back in his trademark style. And they're back to make this a real contest now at 16 points to 10. Now crossed. Finds Cogger. Cuts out Cogger. Gives it to Best. Something to stop there until that moment. We had Katoa under pressure.
Because of Bostock's injury to the knee, that's not a bad play. The bounce just didn't favour Dom Young. What a half a footy. Strap yourself in. We're going to see the Dolphins full of running here in the second half.
It's on the last now. Here's Katoa, gets them going. Nicarima, they'll run it. Farnworth comes out to Avarillo, shows it, and then Ponga falls over in front of him. Avarillo hits the deck as well. Here's a chance for Lemuelu. Dane Gagai saying he had the ball. I'm entitled to tackle him, but here's the pass before Gagai gets to him and then hangs on to the jersey.
Yeah, I think it was a second grab there.
We're going to be without Dane Gagai for the next 10 minutes. Confirmation.
The ball's rolling, Charlie. Keeps holding on.
I don't know if he's passed it or not. I can't just let him go.
Time on.
A chance there. TBI Fedo. The leg of the marker. Lemuelu. Stopped here by Jones. 2 plays gone. Into Katoa and then Stone showing it towards Nichols. Nobody falling for a dummy. And the hard man in the middle of the field. Marshall King. Here's Fino Fuiaki. Good tackle there by Kalen Ponga. Snapped his legs from underneath him. Tabuai Fido. Katoa showing it to Nicarima now. Back on the inside for Farnworth. Look at the Knights slide. Maintain their spacing. What a job they've done. One more play to hang on for, though. Marshall King comes across to Nichols. Here's Katoa. Long ball. Donahue. Isako. It took a terrific pass to find a gap in this Knights defensive line. But they swing it out to the edge and they score through Jermaine Isako.
Well, that's great play there from Donahue. Just kept his head, playing out of position, started at lock forward here. They've had a big reshuffle, the Dolphins.
It's Brazil. Within 5 on the halfway line. Remains on the field now until the end of the game. As the Knights make another change. ESL is out there. Elijah Zalessa, Liam Moana. As it comes back to Brayley. Jumping out from dummy half. Good meters there. 4 plays gone in this set. In through Cogger, and now Ponga taking them on. Runs to the line before he gives it to Bradman Best, and slung to the ground beyond the pass there. No call by the referee. Good. Here is Cogger chipping across the face of him. Crossman pushing forward.
Catch, though, made in the middle by Ray Stone, who's doing a little bit of everything at the moment. The Dolphins still trailing by the 2 as Farnworth comes out to Avarillo. Space down the sideline. Runs to Ponga. Here's the hammer. He'll run away to take the lead for the Dolphins.
Wow, how good is it watching him in full motion and the anticipation at the back there. Tabuai Fido, away he goes. Once he got the football, she's all over. Times it beautifully. They chose to run the ball early in the tackle count. He's had some sort of game too. Farnworth, that's his 18th carry. He's the man.
There's a Sarko from beside the uprights to make this a try, the difference. In the final quarter of this one in Perth. This by just the 4 points, but here are a few coming up for the Knights right here. Comes across to Cogger. Best. Toa. He's a good defender. There's a halfback, is Isaiah Katoa on that right-hand side. Tandem there with Kurt Donahue. Remembering they lost Bostock in the first half, in the 27th minute. They've been playing with a reshuffled back line themselves. There's Cogger. Puts it back underneath. 13 on 13 here for the Knights in the nick of time. Gagai is there, waiting on this right-hand side. Comes back to Frizzell. Short ball. Good tackle. Big collision there. McEwen on the charge. They stop him a metre out. He'll play it. Braylon out the back. Ponga. The Ponga. He slips over. For the first time today, he's got the big screw-ins in as well. Puts a step on, taken down by Graham. On his knees, fighting for space. Set restart. Brayley, Crossland. Pineapple he throws out to Gagai. Skids across the turf. Taken there by Nicarima and also Farnworth. And still deep on the attack. And second straight set. Cogger goes to Ponga. Rubbers. Here's Best. He gets another one. Second try today off a grubber by Kalen Ponga. He had to wait for the bounce. It stayed sliding along the turf. He plants it down, and we're all locked up here in Perth.
Trying to get himself involved in the game, Ponga. He's been in.
They produce hammer themselves to take the lead again. The kick swings to the right-hand side. It stays at 20 all here. Croker to Cogger and Ponga. No looker. First man option there was Dylan Lucas. They were sweating on him. Donahue, boy, he's gone through almost half a century of tackles in this game. What an effort by him. Ponga is there again, Donahue. Pass comes away there from Ponga, back to Cogger. Do they want it now? It comes back to Brayley. Crossland puts it in the air instead. Tabuai Fido coming forward, didn't get there. He touched the ball. Here is Best. They're saying still the last. Croker will reach out. Did he keep his hand off the ground? It looked as though he did.
Is that Brody Jones that scores, is it? What about the desperation at the back here? Unbelievable here. If they do get this try, it is Brody Jones. They should have scored one a little bit earlier, but now they've put it to bed by the look of it.
Strike is a good one. He adds the extra 2. And with 5 seconds remaining on the clock, make it 4. There was the touch by Tabuai Fido. It was still the last, according to the referee. It didn't matter in the end because he stayed on his knees, and Brody Jones plants it down. Second try this season. What a time to score it. So what have they got here? Tap back. A kick across the field, perhaps. Newcastle Knights 4 seconds from finding a way to stop the Dolphins. The kick is too big. Dominic Young is there. He makes the catch. That'll end it today. What a performance by the Newcastle Knights to keep their season alive.